Hey guys, so here I am again. I'm just gonna do it in this format and kind of just like put the pieces forward in front of the camera on that black, this, so you can just like inspect it, better, and take your time because yeah, these are just like the things that I really enjoyed. Let me preface and let me just put a disclaimer out there that first of all, I'm not an expert, right? So I'm not going to like give you dates and tell you, this piece was bought on this era, or just like pretending to know everything when I really don't. And if you see something that you feel you need to like correct me or something, let me know, because dude, like, I don't know all the answers, right? I'm not perfect, and I'm not claiming to be, and this is just like something I enjoy as a hobby. And I'm not claiming to be an expert in any way, shape, or form. This is just like stuff that I enjoy, really. And so, okay, and I just really wanted to like stress this. Like, these are not investment pieces. These are not pieces like, hey, okay, like if I resell them someday, they're gonna be like thousands of dollars. No, these are just like pieces that I enjoy, that are visually appealing to me, because they've held their look and their, the patina or something to the piece, that through time, and through the previous owners, it's just like it brings like this very old school feel to it. So without further ado, let's start. I'm just gonna be going ahead with like, I guess I only have like, well, let's see, I only have a couple of necklaces, so I guess I'll start with that, because that's just like the least amount of in that bracket, I mean in that group. So let's start with this. This is just like very costumey, there's no precious metals to this. So this is you see that chain? It's like super gorgeous. Okay, so I don't know, I guess you've heard that designer Adrian Vittadini or something. Her pieces always have like that monogrammed look with an A. She also has like bags and stuff, but this was like I don't know, it's like $20 or something. But like the chain was like in mint condition, and it has like the gold and the silver hardware color, and the links are pretty are pretty decent. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see any dings. I don't see any, um, like the piece is like pretty mint, for considering, I'm sure it's been, my guesses would be the 80s. And like I said, I'm no expert, don't take my word for it. I just buy things that are visually appealing and vintage and hold their own, over time. So yeah, that's the first one I wanted to share. It's a very hefty, very heavy piece, and I've worn it a couple of times, obviously not to work. It's not like an everyday work piece, but yeah, it's pretty, and it also has like an extender at the end. So if you're not into like the choker look, I guess you could like extend. So anyway, that's the first one. I'm not going to go into too much detail, otherwise the video will be super super long, and I'm known for my long ass videos, so take it for what it is. Okay, so the next one is, these are just like a strand of pearls, and these are real, guys. This is not like faux, which is like very rare in my opinion, because like if you go online to like most of the vintage sellers, most of the pearls are costume, especially ones that are this tiny are kind of rare. But like if you see, the color is like maybe a creamy yellow. Absolutely stunning. And they're tiny. They're probably, maybe I would say 2 or 3 per pearl. And the clasp is real gold, 14 karat gold. But I believe that I broke the clasp, so I'm gonna have to get that replaced. And the clasp is like that, I don't know what you call it, but it goes right in there. But it's a very short piece, you know, there's no extenders. So it's like for a very short neck. It could be maybe 16 or 17 inches. So it's definitely more of like a choker type thing. Or, you know, just a little bit below, I would say, your clavicle, or almost near your clavicle. So it's not like a long, you know, it's not like one of those long knotted pearl pieces. It's really short. But yeah, it's very rare to find something this little that's like real pearls and not faux, you know. So that's the next one. Moving along, I'm trying to really do this like quick because I'm like notorious for like my long ass videos. So I don't see any other necklaces, so I guess I'll go with, yeah, this one. Okay, so this one I broke it myself, and I'm still looking for a way to like get this repaired, or for me to like put a clasp in. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but this is like a, I don't know, I think it's just like silver tone, but it just, okay, let me just say this is so pretty, like in person. It doesn't have like that costumey feel, you know, that you get from costume pieces. The stones are very sparkly and shiny. And what happened is, you know, I was trying to put it on one day, and it was going in, you know, through that, and it just kind of tore off the, like, the tongue. So I haven't really, there was like a safety chain like hanging over this way, but it fell, you know. So that's something that I'm gonna have to get repaired, or I'm gonna have to put in a new clasp. But you know, it's just like, seriously, you know, it could be a standalone piece for like when you're going to a party or a, you know, red carpet event, and you just have this, and maybe you have like a pair of baguette earrings as well that are also vintage to go with it. Isn't that stunning? But like I said, I broke the clasp, and so I haven't worn it in maybe 3 or 4 months. Yeah, but that's really gorgeous. Okay, this one, you guys, I think I bought it for just the eye candy factor. It's like super well made. And oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that bangle. It's all elephants, right? It's gold. I mean, I'm sure it's not real gold, you know, but like, look at the way that the bracelet was crafted and how realistic those elephants look like. And how, you know, the bracelet is just so well made. It's like, wow. You know, how often do you come across something of this quality, you know, vintage? You know, even the colors of like the hinges are in good shape. They're not loose or anything. And it just kind of goes around like that in one solid piece. That's absolutely stunning, isn't it? And you know, I'm a firm collector of like figural jewelry because I like elephants a whole lot. And so I really have like elephant memorabilia, you know, if you can say that. That is simply just stunning, isn't it? Super well made. And you know what? It's no light bracelet or bangle. It's super heavy. It's probably like 20 or 30 grams, if I could say. So yeah, isn't that like absolutely one of my favorites? So here's another one. Okay, and so this one was like, again, okay, guys, I'm just reminding you guys when I say, oh, you know, that's not, you know, a piece in the 50s, that's a 60s. Guys, whatever, okay? I'm going off on what I know. But I know back in the day, like this acorn bracelet was like an in thing, very popular. You know what I mean? Or a cha-cha, something like that. But what I really liked about it are the acorns surrounding it. It's like super heavy. I mean, do I like these like little, you see those, I don't know what you could call those, like little, those like, those circles, like, encapsulating like the acorns. No, I don't like them actually. Like, I would rip them apart Or I would rip them up in a quick minute if I had the choice. But it's like maybe I might want to sell this one day, or somebody might like it and want to buy it from me. So I'm not, not gonna f with it. But I mean, look at that color. The patina on that piece is absolutely stunning. The darker the better, I would say. But like I said, I think those little rings just make it super ugly. I mean, were they necessary? Not for me, you know. I feel like the piece could have been, there could have been more acorns, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you like it without these things, or do you feel like they're necessary to like, for like the look, of the piece? And here's what something I noticed. I noticed that the acorns and the balls are kind of like on the yellowish side. So I could be seeing it wrong, but what do you guys see? I see that it's a two-tone thing. Now, here's what I know about pieces like this. I know that they're either pewter, but I would say they're not pewter. I would say these are aluminum balls. If anyone has ever owned a piece like this from back in the day, could you let me know if I'm making a good assessment or a guess based on the colors of the bracelet that I see? Because I could be completely wrong and off, right? So yeah, it's so stunning. It's very heavy and hefty as well. Has a good weight to it. I don't really wear it a lot, because, like you guys know, or some of you guys know, I take care of the elderly, so I can't have anything like with these dangling little things near when I'm with the elderly, because it could get in the way of my job. So that's that. Okay, here's another one that, man, this is like super vintage, and I don't know about you guys, okay, but like, anybody here from Yemen or knows anything about Berber, BERBER jewelry? Okay, this is like a bangle that I came across on eBay. Very unique looking. I've never seen any of its kind ever. But it's apparently 800 silver. It's not 925. And the seller practically gave it away for, a price lower than what's expected, obviously heritage and heirloom pieces or vintage. But apparently this is like a Yemeni, okay, so like from the country Yemen, so it's a Yemeni bracelet, or it's a Yemeni, how do they say it? Bedouin? Okay, so if you guys don't know anything, not that I'm saying that you don't know, but what I'm saying is like, not everyone, I guess, has this knowledge. But like, those people that live in the desert, they're called Bedouin tribes, and they're very simple people, you know what I mean? They tend to their sheep and their flock, they graze cattle, and that's kind of, their source of income, so they live in the desert. And these are apparently worn by the Yemeni Bedouin tribes. Look at how ornate that area is right there. It's super ornate, and like the silver and the patina of that piece is like giving it so much more character, you know what I mean? And it's like super hefty as well. And the way you open it is there's actually a screw. So what you do is you just twist. Okay, I could be wrong in here. Okay, there you go. So you twist that. So it's an actual screw. Like when they say screw, they weren't kidding. That was like the actual description. So it's an actual screw. So you open it like that, and you're gonna see like this little tongue in between. So they kind of all have to align, and match, right? In order for like the hinge or like the screw to go into that little hole right there and actually like seal it, right? Do you see what I'm saying? So it has to be kind of like, I guess, like, I've had so much trouble with this bangle, you guys, so My other roommate, who's like actually like an older lady, right? She's helped me put this bangle on and off so many times, and it's like pissing her off because it's like not the easiest thing, to work with. It has to be like perfectly aligned and matched up and go into the right hole right there. So I'm gonna lock it in right now and then show you guys. So what you do is like you kind of press down that area and then you screw it back on like that. I'm sorry. Sheesh, this is making my it's so hard to do. And the way I was able to do it on my own was kind of use the rubber band method. There you go. So it's sealed back on. It's like super tight. There's no chance that it could fall on you because it's absolutely screwed on shut. You know what I'm saying? And look at how ornate that piece is with all those like pointed, it almost looks like stars. So gorgeous and ornate. Imagine like an older Yemeni woman could have been like wearing this on her wrist. And here you are, wearing it now in the present day. Like, wow. How, what kind of heritage, you know what I mean? What kind of deserts or way of living and what were they subjected to? Sand, you know what I mean? Like sandstorms and as they were doing their herding, right? Oh my gosh, here I am, you guys, again, like just droning on and on. Okay, here's another one. Like I said, I do have a love for elephants, so I have like this. This is very common. Like you'll see it a lot on eBay and Amazon. Oh, not Amazon, I guess, but like Ruby Lane or like the other vintage sites, and it's like super heavy. And apparently the eyes are made of gemstones. So I saw a listing on eBay that the eyes were actual diamonds, but the entire piece is just like gold plated, I believe. So I don't really wear this too much. I feel like it's super dressy. So it's like the type of thing you would wear to like maybe a party or a black tie event, but not like every single day, to work. But did you guys also know that when you invest in like elephant jewelry, it's better to like get one that the tusks are up like that. It's just supposed to be good luck. Yeah, so there you go. I'm just trying to breeze through this, you guys, and just be real quick. Okay, so here's another bracelet that I found on, I believe it was eBay. And it was marketed or it was sold as like a dome bracelet. And look at those balls, you guys. Those are just so interesting, isn't it? The bracelet itself is like super heavy. It's like between 25 and 30 grams total. And the balls are gold filled. But they kind of already have like this super faded patina. And I think, and I could be wrong, this is just like I'm guessing, the little green dots or balls inside could be possibly acrylic. Because I don't see any, the stones in them are not, you don't see any veining or anything like that. So it could just be plastic. But I believe like the balls itself are gold filled, and I could be wrong about that. But I bought this piece sometime back, you know what I mean? And to be honest, I haven't really worn it all that much. I maybe wore it a couple of times to work. But isn't that like so gorgeous? Like it's more of like a costume piece, and I already have kind of like one stone fall off from there. Actually, no, I have two stones now. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. Okay, so this one is like so extra. It's like this the type of thing that you know, are you gonna wear it every single day? Probably not. You know what I mean? But this just my guess. Like I said, I'm no jewelry expert. I'm no authority, excuse me, on jewelry itself, but especially vintage, right? But just my guess. from the way it is. Okay, so here it is. It's a tennis bracelet that's like all marquise stones. So I believe those are just crystal, but they're like super heavy. The entire bracelet is maybe, I would say, 20 grams. And everything is like super mint and still in mint condition. See that? The clasp itself is so gorgeous. I appreciate those double duty clasps that you kind of use both clasps on each side to like make the piece more secure. You know, that's so well made, and it just says gold filled and crystal, you know, so it's in yellow gold. It's a little bit on the bigger side. I'm guessing it could be around 8, you know, so for a woman with like bigger wrists. But isn't that like super stunning? And yeah, like I've only worn it like a number of times because it's just like it's just way too much, you know, for everyday, you know, for everyday use, right? It's not the type of thing like, okay, I'm gonna go to work and do all the manual things that I have to do and wear that bracelet. So this bracelet is kind of like an enigma to me. So A, for number one, the patina of it says to me that it's not silver, it could be pewter. So this is actually almost like the Hermes, like the Mariner chain link, right? It's a very, the it's very tiny. And the seller told me it's like 925 sterling, but like I did a test on it and it's not. I forgot what test I did. I did a home based test, you know, to actually test the piece, and it's not sterling. So also it has like a weird and funky smell, so it could be perhaps like, I don't know, copper or brass. But what I really appreciated and liked about it is like the links. So it really reminds me of like how Hermes does their basic like monogram, you know, in their jewelry. I just like it. But as you can see, even if you polish the piece, it just like has this like silver, almost like grayish cast to it. I mean, there's no fading, there's no, you know, you won't see any chips or nicks or like discoloration on the piece, but just from holding it, like you'll know it's not sterling whatsoever. So, you know, that's just like one of my observations. I could be wrong, but isn't that stunning? I've only worn it maybe like once or twice, and I wasn't really amused by it. I mean, is it my favorite? Probably not. Okay, here's one of my favorites, and I do wear them all the time. And these are my infinity or love nuts. And they could be for everyday use. I just have like this tinier one, but I'm looking for something that's like this much, this big. So I have like I have like a three, I have like a trifecta. You know what I mean? But they're absolutely gorgeous. They're very heavy. And see that tinier one? Okay, I broke the clasp, and I'm using like that. It's so weird looking. You see that earring like dangle to like hold it together, you know, or use it as like the clasp. But this is like super stunning, and I think during the 70s or the 80s, you know what, they could even be older than that, don't quote me on this, but this became like a super popular thing, you know what I mean? And they also had necklaces and rings, you know, like this. So there were an awful lot of like manufacturers that were making it. But I think for me, my favorite part of it is like I'm always drawn to like rose colored jewelry or rose colored metals because my skin looks best in like rose gold for some reason. So yeah, these are. I'm looking for another one to like complete my my trifecta. You know, because obviously this one is like super tiny, right? But see how gorgeous they are. They can be everyday jewelry. They're absolutely stunning. And I guess like if you resell them, you're going to get a lot of buyers. They're very in demand right now. Just looking for a piece like that is like very difficult to do. Okay, so here's a bangle that the information that I gathered on this is it was like 1900s. It's Victorian. Look at how stunning that is. And I believe that's just like a gold filled piece. And it has like this logo here. Okay, I'm gonna try and focus. And if I can't focus, I'm sorry you guys, like I apologize, but sometimes it just won't. Yeah, it's I don't know. It just gosh. But it says PSCo. So PSCo is like a company. You know what? Let me read the exact description of what of who or what PSCo is or was and what they were specializing in. Okay, so I don't give you wrong information because like I said, I'm no expert in this, right? And you know, remember you guys, I stand corrected. Like if any of you guys respectfully, of course, you know, let me know, hey, you know, your information is wrong or I have this to say, you know what I mean? I'm very open to knowing more, you know, because maybe you guys know something I don't, you know what I mean? So here's the thing. So I'm gonna read PSCo, and it's actually when you Google it, it's permanently closed. Okay, so like there's a restaurant in call it in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, and it's an organic. No, I'm not looking for that dummy. Hold on. I'm looking for the jewelry company. I should have said PSCo jewelry, like in my search. Duh. Dummy. Okay, here you go. PS PSCo. PSCo. Okay. PNS jewelry. No, that's not it. Duh. What's wrong with me? Okay. Okay, here it is. So, let me read to you, and I'm quoting the page, and this is the website that appeared in the search. Decades Vintage, so that's one word, Decades Vintage, all in small caps, not that it matters. Decadesvintage.com. Okay, so the explanation is Plainville Stock. Okay, so Plainville Stock is the PS Co. So I guess company, right? Plainville Stock Company, headquartered in Plainville, Massachusetts. Wow. Because you know what? I spent 2 or 3 years of my childhood in Massachusetts. Made lovely Art Deco and fancy filigree jewelry pieces based on the fine jewelry styles of the period, right? So it's definitely an older company that specializes in vintage. Now, here's the thing. I don't know whether they're still open as of this moment that I'm posting this video online. So if anyone knows information about them, can you let me know or can you like put it in the comments? Because I'm trying to. I've come across so many pieces on eBay that say PSCo, and they're absolutely stunning, and it's absolutely my aesthetic. You know, it's the look that I'm going for. You know what? That's about the only information that I can see online. But all I know is, you guys, okay, so I believe from Victorian times they were already operating. Now, is that accurate? Am I telling you accurate stuff? No. I'm supposing that Probably because, I came across some pieces online before that were saying 1800s, right? So is there a possibility that they were operating during Victorian times? Yeah, absolutely. But apparently they were more in demand for their Art Deco stuff. So yeah, that bangle, okay, you guys, so I saw when I saw the listing for it was for a PSCO cuff, gold filled cuff. Excuse me. And of course, it has like its little imperfections here and there, a little bit of nicks and dings, but like I guess if you polish it and clean it well enough, I just haven't worn it as much, but it's an absolutely, vintage shape, but it's still, you know what I mean? The allure is still there, it's a very beautiful piece. And I've worn it a couple of times, outside, so absolutely gorgeous. Okay, where are we now? Okay, here's another bracelet that I found online. And the way the woman was describing this was a blue topaz. And apparently, this was from her grandmother's estate that was passing away. Or had passed away, I'm sorry. No disrespect meant. Her grandmother that passed away. And she was trying to dispose of the some of the pieces, to like help her with her financial stuff, right? And I think and I believe it's sterling silver, and those are blue topaz, the stones. And I have not tested the bracelet. I mean, first, if they say it's sterling silver, yeah, I could believe that because of the patina.